Peace and Black Power family. This is your host, Raheem Shabazz, and we are here with a special guest in the building. This guest is so special, right? She's a lovely lady, right? And her name is Love. And Love is more than just a lovely lady. She is actually a co-founder and co-creator of an apparel brand. And she also teaches breath work, alchemy facilitator. That's one of her titles. Breathwork Alchemy Facilitators. I know it's a long title, prestigious title, but we're going to get into all that and more. I just want to welcome you to the Necessary Blackness Podcast. How are you doing, my sister?
Yes, well, first, it's an honor to be here on the Necessary Blackness Podcast. I'm feeling like just the title, Necessary Blackness, just make me feel like I'm ready to be necessarily dropping some gems.
All right.
But I'm feeling blessed. Thank you for having me today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We had met, through the clothing brand, and we've been talking ever since. And just the conversation where I was like, you know what, I have to bring you on the podcast. And I am wearing self-love.
What's he wearing today? This is
right. So your brand, All Love, let's talk about that. Let's go into that. What was the concept and idea that you had when you initiated and started this brand?
Okay, so when I first started the brand, it was in 2016.
Okay.
And it was just after coming back from Costa Rica. I was there for 6 months. No cell phone, no computer, no technology, just me, nature. And it was the first time that I had truly cultivated self-love for myself in a real way.
Okay.
And it's a whole long backstory on how I got there. I just ended a tumultuous relationship where I had really just lost my own power. You just in a situation, you're giving so much of yourself, you're compromising. I didn't have strong boundaries. It was just the whole opposite of self-love. And so, but it was necessary because that experience ripped me apart to the point that it sought me out seeking myself. And so that's when I went on that journey, and actually ended up on that journey. Didn't know what it was going to unfold as. But make a long story short, when I came back, I made the very first shirt. For me, it was just my reminder to myself to stay grounded in all the love that I had given to myself and cultivated. Because a lot of times when we go to retreats, we go to workshops, we get the information, we amped up, we fired up, but then we get back in our same environment around the same people who might not have gone through the transformational experiences or might not have gotten the information we got.
People, places, and things.
Yeah. And so we slowly get back to those old parts of ourselves that we were letting go. We're creatures of habit. And so I wanted something tangible to keep me grounded in that. So the first shirt was just for me. And what happened was I did notice a subtle difference whenever I wore my shirt. I really felt that reminder. And I guess it was that intention.
What about the people's reaction when they seen the shirt?
People liked it. Yeah,
Okay.
people liked it. But it wasn't people liking it that made me first go into I'm going to make these for more than myself. People actually did like the shirts, and I would get compliments, or even people like self-love. What's that? It could have went either way. Some people, perversion, thinking self-pleasuring. And
I never thought of it like that.
I had people that, men, of course, that was like, oh, self-love.
But
Tell me more about
now,
that.
2016, I knew about self-love because,
But it's way more on the forefront. It's a
today,
catchword now.
Today it's prevailing for everybody. So I could see someone in 2016 saying self-love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we were at the beginning of the self-love revolution. That I would like to say maybe even a pioneer, and it's always been around, but just giving putting the word on the forefront
and bringing it to the mainstream.
Yeah. So I then came. Ooh,
keep going. No,
I then came across Professor Emote.
Okay.
I don't know. Are you familiar with him?
No, you're going to have to explain.
So Professor Emote, he's a Japanese physicist, and he's known for his water studies. So he studied the power of intention, vibration, energy on water. He also, there's experiments have been done with rice and plants as well, but the water one was for me where I had the aha moment. What he did was he took 2 jars of water. He labeled one with the word love and one with the word hate. He froze the jars of water and then observed the crystalline formations under a microscope. The jar that had the word love was completely symmetrical, sacred geometry.
Yeah.
The jar with the word hate was very chaotic and very little symmetry. And for me, that was an aha moment because I used to be a personal trainer, a nutritionist. I know a lot about the body, and I know that we're, 75 to 85% water. So I'm like, okay, well, if just taping the word on the jar of water had that impact, then that's why the self-love, when I wear that shirt, I'm feeling it. I'm literally programming the crystalline essence of who I am, water, with the self-love and that remembrance. So I was like, wow, intentional apparel, like this is a thing. And so our shirts are like the stickers on our jars of water.
Yeah, and speaking of jars of water, you gave me a jar.
I did.
About 2 days ago, I drank it within maybe, I want to say, the first 2 hours. Very good water. And you just brought me another jar.
I did.
Right? Tell people where that water comes from and why that water is very important.
Okay, so this water, I just got to Atlanta about a month ago at this now, coming from Kauai. And I literally, as all things happen, synchronistically got it to this company called Alive Waters. And they get water from the springs and they deliver it to you. But it's only in California and Texas. So once I saw it wasn't here, they have a spring locator. And I was like, well, let me see what's in Georgia. And lo and behold, there's one an hour away. This is Indian Springs, which is one of the top natural springs in the world. It's right here in Georgia. And since I went, I've been asking people who live here, and they had never even heard of it. Yeah. And it's right here in your own backyard.
Well, they heard about it now.
Yes, Indian Springs. You go, it's $5 to park. The water is free. You can bring as many gallons as you want to fill up. It's one of only 2, if I'm not mistaken. If anybody knows more than me, feel free to comment, on the comments. But from what I researched, it's only one of 2 springs in the U.S. that has sulfur naturally occurring in the water, which is really good for our bodies. You can definitely for the skin. So if you have psoriasis, eczema, any type of skin conditions, but it's also good for the thyroid. Sulfur is a mineral that we need. But it's the bomb. It's been around for a couple hundreds of years, and it's known for its medicinal healing properties.
Oh, wow.
And I can attest to it. So I heard that, right? And so I was like, all right, well, I want to test it out. So I did. My intention was to do a 5-day water fast, just drinking the water from Indian Springs. I felt so good that I ended up going 8 days.
Wow.
8 days just on this water. And I can definitely say my mental clarity, my energy levels, I feel like my skin, definitely. I couldn't even sleep at night.
Was you receiving a lot of downloads?
Lots of downloads. I got a whole notebook that I filled up just in these 8 days.
Wow. Now, you said that it's heavy, like when we was talking and you gave me the bottle, you said it was heavy and rich like in sulfur, right?
Yes.
And so ain't sulfur not too good for you?
Well, I'm not a chemist or a scientist, so I think from what sulfur and the trace amounts that we need, it's in our body. It's naturally occurring.
I don't think it's not too good for you, but the smell.
No, the smell. It smells like rotten eggs. When you first get it, the first 2 days, you actually have to let it sit.
Settle. And then you also put some mint in there for me. So
some peppermint oil. And that kind of...
Yeah, that was on point.
How did you feel after you drank the water?
I felt different. It definitely... Well, I'm not going to say I really felt different, but I knew that this was probably like the best water that I tasted. You know what I mean?
You can taste
like,
the difference.
Yeah, you can definitely taste the difference. It didn't even taste better than alkaline water. So alkaline was always the go-to water for me. But I'm like, this right here, this is something different.
Same. I used to be big on Essentia, but you spending $20-$30 a case, and I drink 4 bottles of water at least a day.
Oh yeah.
So you spending,
you running it up.
Yeah. So I'm like, and this is free, and then I can fill it up in glass. It's just it makes so much more sense. Better for me, better for the environment. But it's electric. This water is some of the best water that I've had ever.
Water is essential.
Water is life.
It's life. And as you know, in Mississippi, they have a water crisis. We're going to talk about that and much more. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Make sure y'all stay tuned. This is a non-commercial break because ain't nothing commercial over here, all right? We are back from our quick non-commercial break. And for those that are just joining us, it's all about peace, prosperity, and love today.
Yes.
We ain't going crazy. We are not banging on a open enemy. It's about peace and love. But not love for no one else, but self-love. Love for yourself. Because you got to love yourself before you love anybody. And today we have love in the building. And we was talking. We started off, we was talking about your brand. I want you to explain more about your brand, self-love, and how can one acquire self-love. You told us how it happened for you, but for other people that may be going through trying times, how could they acquire self-love and connect that with the brand?
Okay, well, definitely. Well, first of all, self-love is it's a journey. It's not a destination. It's not like there's a self-love toolkit, a self-love to-do list. You check these things off and boom, I got self-love. It's a day-by-day thing. Even for me, as long as I've been, intentionally cultivating self-love, there's days where I still wake up and I'm having a bad day, but I just have to pull my tool out my toolbox to realign my vibrations. But I think it really starts with going within. In a world full of distractions, everything is pulling us to seek outside of ourselves when really everything we need is already within ourselves. But how do we get there? And so that's what the tools, the self-love tools that I share, that's where the breathing, the meditation comes in, the affirmations, the journaling, the mindset development, and even also in taking care of our bodies. That's a big part of self-love. And especially in today's days and time between COVID and viruses and even, entrepreneurs running 3, 4, 5 businesses and activists, here and there, we still have to take care of ourselves because this is our biggest real estate. This is where our soul actually dwells. And if we're not healthy, my boy Styles P, they got the juice bar out in Brooklyn, I believe. And he said it best. He said, this is your biggest piece of real estate. Yeah. Like you can have $0 in your bank account, but if you got your health, you can do more than a man with $2 million in the bank account that doesn't have
your health is your wealth.
So your health is your wealth, and that's a big part of our self-love. And it's integrative: mind, body, soul, spirit. And so it's taking time to nourish each one of the aspects of those and bringing them into balance. So you said, how could someone do that? There are many different ways. I can only say the tools that work for me are the things that I like to share. I can't speak on anything that I don't do. But what I do, I start my mornings before I even wake up. I don't go to my cell phone. I don't let anything rule my day. I take at least the first 10 minutes to just breathe, visualize how I want my day going, and giving gratitude. Before my feet even hit the floor, I've already given gratitude for at least 11 things waking up. That in itself, gratitude is the highest vibration. So when you start off with that.
Yeah, I'm going to stop you right there because while you're saying this, right, I'm saying to myself, I am the totally opposite of that. Like my cell phone is literally right there, right? So when I roll over, I want to see who texts me, how many calls I missed, and then I start checking my bank accounts. I start checking Coinbase, see what the market looking like. And what I used to do though, I used to like sit there, lay in the bed and plan my day out in my head. Plan it out like I'm gonna do this, and like take a mental to-do list, but lately I've just been so busy, like I haven't been doing it.
One of my mentors used to say, if you're too busy to meditate, that means you need to meditate. Because just, there's nothing wrong with being busy and having a lot to do, but we still have to prioritize ourselves first.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't take it's not like we need to sit and meditate for 3 hours a day. 10 minutes, first 10 minutes. But even that's just like setting the precedence of I'm first. I'm coming first. My health, my well-being, my mental health is coming first. And then I can check my bank account. I can check, my text messages. I still have to do all that. I got to check my Coinbase and do it, but I just set my intentions first and then start out with gratitude. That way, no matter, just in case I look at my bank account. No. Yeah. Well, I'm still grateful that I am happy that I'm alive, that I'm breathing, that I woke up with an alert mind. I can still create. Thank you for my family, and just all whatever the things that you are grateful for.
So meditation, breathing is a big part of it, right?
A huge part of it.
So let's talk about the breathing aspect of it.
The breathing aspect is so crazy because before I started really understanding the power of the breath is something that we just take for granted. Yeah. It's right here with us all the time. Our breath. It never leaves. It's what it's like, how often do you think about how consciously you're breathing?
Not often at all.
And we're not even taught about it. Yeah. And this is what gives us life. With no breath, there's no life. You stop breathing, your brain starts dying, literally. Yeah. Our breath is so powerful. Like, you can cure headaches, you can cure ailments, you can ground yourself. It helps with anxiety. It helps with getting to sleep. You can literally go to astral project through the breath. So it's one of the things that I feel is so beneficial, and it's an abundance of benefits that I like to share because it's free. You can literally stop and breathe and employ any of the numerous breathing techniques at any moment, at any time.
That's what I was going to ask you next, free. Right?
Can we do one?
No, not on air.
Okay.
Now, I want to know, I know a few different techniques because I've been reading some books, right? But what I wanted to ask you, right, as a breath work alchemy facilitator, right?
Mm-hmm. It is a big word. That's big.
There are certain techniques that you teach. Mm-hmm. All right, real quickly, morning, you said your affirmations, now you're doing your breathing and your meditation. What is a quick one that you can give to people?
So a quick one is the breath of fire, but I would love to share the sun moon.
Is that when you wake up in the morning, your breath stink? The breath of fire?
That might be yours.
Everybody breath stink when they wake up in the morning.
I don't know. My might be...
Because you drink that water.
That water. No.
You only drinking water for 8 days. Of course your breath don't smell like that.
The breath of fire. You funny. Yeah, that's the way to get it started.
Fire.
So the breath of fire is a pranayama technique where you...
You just said a word that is way over my head. Let's go.
Okay, so pranayama is...
prana. I heard of the word prana, yeah.
Life force.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pranayama is a breathing. It's the art of breathing.
Okay.
In Ayurvedic. But I would like to share the sun moon alternate nostril breathing because that's something that is not as advanced and anybody can do it.
Okay, do it.
This one literally, even if you have a headache, my homegirl had a headache the other day. I showed it. She was like, it literally worked. Her headache was gone. So you just want to make sure you can either do it laying down on your back or sitting up comfortable. When it comes to breathing, you do want to try to have your shoulders over your hips so that your spine is erect. Mm-hmm. So that also as you're breathing, your kundalini, your spinal fluid is flowing, and that also is super beneficial.
Okay.
But so you want to take your thumb and your ring finger. Okay. And you're going to first do 3 clearing breaths. So just take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, let that out. Another inhale. Exhale, let that out. Last one, nice deep inhale. Okay. And then so I'm going to take my right thumb
Mm-hmm.
and press it against my right nostril.
Okay.
And I'm going to take an inhale through my left nostril. I'm then going to seal my left nostril, hold that breath for 2 to 4 seconds, and exhale, releasing my left thumb from my nostril.
Oh, okay.
Then I'm going to inhale through that same right nostril,
And
pinch
then,
and hold.
and then repeat
and
it.
then
Let that
exhale.
one go. Okay.
Exhale, then inhale, pinch and hold, exhale.
And how many times you do that?
You can start off with a minimum of 8. You can go from 8 on up and, 8 to 20, 25. The longer you do it, the more benefits. But try it for the audience. Just try
No.
it. Even at just that moment, I'm just dropped back fully into this because this is for everybody.
You're going to have to walk me through it.
I'm going to walk you through it. That's what I'm here for.
You said your posture has to be straight, right? And you said you're going to take your finger, your thumb, right?
You're going to take, your
thumb. You're going to put it over here. Then you're going to take your ring finger, which is this. And then you're going to go like this and what?
Okay, so first just take a clearing breath. Okay, take your thumb, pinch that. Now take an inhale through your left nostril. Now pinch it, hold it, and then release your thumb. Exhale. Okay, keep your pointer finger there. Inhale. Hold it, pinch. Exhale. Inhale. Hold it, pinch. Exhale. Inhale. Hold it, pinch. And exhale. Now just do that a couple times on your own. Inhale. Hold and pinch. Exhale. And relax. Do it as relaxed.
I'm on camera, so I'm a little,
You are doing it as you relax. And this is the Vishnu Mudra, which means to seal in Sanskrit, to seal. So you do this with any type of breathing practice.
Yeah, it takes practice to get used to it, and I'm overly conscious of whether I'm doing it right. The camera's there. It's like I'm in a room with 1 million people. Yeah, I'll practice it first.
And then you can let people
get my skill sets up, and then I'll come on here and brag. Like, what you got to do is you got to put your left index on, But yeah, that's something that I know a lot of people that practice, that do yoga and meditation. They talk about certain breathing techniques and how to breathe, and breath control. Now, I do know, like, in certain volatile situations, in order to calm yourself down and not raise your blood pressure through the roof, you got to breathe. Breathe, let it out, and I think that's a good thing, especially in society today, because so many things is happening. We can get mad. We can go from 0 to 60 so quick. Driving, you get road rage, and it's just 5-10 seconds of not thinking or breathing could change the course of your life. And next thing you know, you end up in jail for busting somebody in the head.
When you could have just paused and took a breath. And speaking of that, this is your gift, a gift to you.
Oh, she just come bearing gifts all day.
This was made with that exact intention. So this is the What Would Love Do bracelet, which is a remix of the What Would Jesus Do bracelet, that we grew up on. But in my travels around the world, I realized not everyone learns about Jesus. Yeah. But God is love, and it's the highest vibration. And so I give this out with the intention as a reminder. So whenever, especially for me, I made it for me first, and I was like, I got to share this. When I'm angry or when I'm torn in a big decision, I just pause, breathe, take a deep breath. And especially when I'm mad, I go through 3 questions. Do I have to be right? Do I need to prove this point? Do I have to have the last word? And normally just me breathing and asking myself those questions,
that's crazy.
I diffuse the situation.
When I used to get mad, I used to ask myself, like, really 2 questions. But the number 1 question, do I got bail money? I'm not going to lie. I used to be like,
Do I got
get to
bail
a-
money?
I get
But
in
then
a
you still made a
situation,
conscious choice.
I be like,
You
do I
was
got
like,
bail money? You know what I mean? But you know, now, like my older brother that transitioned, right? He would he would like really talk me off the edge of doing certain things and stuff like that, like harming people, or he'd just be like, you know, he'd say something to me like, Maheem, that's not right, don't do that. And and 9 times out of 10 I listen to him, right? So now when I get in situations, I'll be like, how would Joe handle this? That was what my brother's name was. And I'll be like, how would Joe handle this? Sometimes I listen to myself, sometimes I don't. Because my brother, he was just like, he wasn't gonna harm a fly. He forgives and forget everybody, and I just ain't doing that. You know, some people I just say, you know what, I'm just not gonna deal with them no more.
right.
He'll forgive them and still deal with them. I can't.
Oh,
do
Joe
that.
was a special.
He was special. You know what I mean? And I think that like me and my brother, we were saying this, like if we all had the capacity of love as him, like our family would be A1. You know what I mean? No dysfunctional family members.
That's all of us.
But yeah, he was he was a special individual. And the sad part is, you really don't realize that until they're not here. You know what I mean? So that's sad. But listen, we're gonna take another quick commercial break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about water. Which is essential. We're going to talk about land ownership because the basis of freedom is land.
Yes.
And if you don't have land, then
you don't have land, you really
lost. You know?
Especially where we headed.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about all that when we come back.
All right.
Y'all stay tuned. This is Necessary Blackness Podcast, and I am your host, Raheem Shabazz, and we're with the lovely Love.
Hey.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back from a brief break, and we are still here. We ain't going nowhere.
We ain't going nowhere.
Here. And we're going to switch the conversation, and we're going to talk about your travels, right?
Okay.
I know you have traveled extensively. Hawaii, Tanzania. Those are the two that I do know. What are some of the other places you've been to?
Like I said, Costa Rica, Colombia, India, Dubai, Turks and Caicos. Those are the places that I've really let some grass grow under my feet. Mexico.
Okay.
Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic.
Your passport is
we
definitely
got some stamps in there. We definitely got some stamps, and that's one thing I would encourage any and everybody, if you can, to just travel, get out there. That's one of the biggest things for me that just expanded my mind and even my heart, is just seeing other cultures that are not programmed the way we are. And we go other places, and we see other cultures and how they live and how they're so free and how they actually truly like have unity amongst them and care about each other, and just even putting love in the food that they cook and not having fast food everywhere. Just it's such a different way of being that you get to experience, that it then makes what's unnatural about where we're from feel that much more unnatural, and you're like, okay, wait, something has to change.
Exactly. Tanzania.
Yes, Tanzania. So that's the last place that's going to be my new home. Tanzania. It's a beautiful country. It's one of the safest countries in Africa. I never thought I would find a place that was as beautiful as Kauai. I literally was in Morogoro, and I felt like I was in Kauai. It was, I couldn't believe it. Also, the people there are super woke. Their leader, Magufuli, was assassinated last year, but he definitely let them know, like, we're not taking no Western vaccines. We're not doing anything with the COVID. Like, y'all stay sovereign. It's no GMOs over there, I think, maybe except for corn, but it's an abundance of seeded watermelon, mangoes, pineapples, avocados. Wow. That's just like every single corner. You're like, you know how they show you Africa. Yeah. You think it's going to be deserts and famines and starving children. It's so much food, fruit, and vegetables. It's unreal. And then the people. The people. That's for me anywhere I go. It's just the people. The love there. Just the family. Like everybody that I met, we keep in touch.
And how much land you have over there?
So we got 35 acres.
Okay.
With 3 waterfalls on the property and our own water source.
Wow.
Which is huge. But yeah. So we're going to be, of course, growing our own land, starting our own community, and having it available for retreats. So, and just our dollar goes so much further over there.
Now, let me ask you something. Do you have dual citizenship?
Not yet. Nope.
No?
I don't.
And it was easy to purchase land without being a part of a tribe or having citizenship over there?
Typically, no, it's not easy. So I will say that.
Yeah.
But it was divinely orchestrated that I ended up connecting with my partner. He's Tanzanian, and so if you do have to do a partnership, a corporation with a local.
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
You gotta include them in it.
You gotta. Why not? Like I feel like that's the way it should be.
Imagine if we would have did that over here. A lot of people would be out of business right now. You had to come to us in order to
and we would all have to break bread in order to and I feel like that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's not, I'm not going to say it's hard, you know what I mean, but it is protocol. Like you do have to have a partner, form a corporation. But those things can be done.
So 33 acres of
35.
land. 35. It's a game changer.
Yeah, that's a game
So
changer.
I want you to tell us, how important is it to own land ownership for Black people?
I mean, it's one of the most important things we can be doing, because when we own our own land, we can control our own narrative through and through, from the food, what we're putting into our bodies, so how we're growing our food. Because what do you really need as a human on the planet Earth? What do you really need? Food, water, air, shelter. You need the sun, sunshine, and the air quality, which also we don't oftentimes consider, but the air quality over there is superb, especially up in the mountains. But when you have your own land, you literally get to, like I said, create your own narrative. You can feed yourself, you can grow your own herbs, you can heal yourself. You don't need doctors, you know what I mean? Because most of the modern medicine, pharmaceuticals come from herbs anyway.
Absolutely.
You can even clothe yourself. You can grow your own hemp. You can grow your own cotton if need be.
Your own cannabis.
Your own cannabis.
That's a medicine.
Which is a medicine, yes. And even you can use hemp to make clothes, and even to make different types of roofs. When I was over there, I saw we went to the villages. They literally, it was no Home Depot. They're building their own whole communities. They make their own bricks out of mud, stack them up, put fires underneath them, and these structures are lasting 15, 20, 30 years.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and making their own roofs, and everything comes from nature.
I seen someone make a house out of hemp. I was like, wow. And then I was doing some research, right? Hemp farms, you can make a lot of money. There's actually an organization right now that's out there that, I don't want to misconstrue the numbers, but it was a nice size number for them to utilize your land. Like,
they'll pay you
to grow hemp on your land. And I forget what it was for like 1 acre. I know it was an amount where I was like, oh, that's some nice money right there. So, yeah.
Yeah, and especially a while ago, I think that's kind of shifting, because a lot of people got into hemp production, so it's not as lucrative. But yeah, owning your own land and owning your own food, that's one of the biggest ways that we're being poisoned and not even knowing it, is through our food.
So people are going to want to contact you, right? How can they get in contact with you on social media?
At All Love, ALLLOVE, Kauai, KAUAI.
Okay.
On Instagram, Facebook.
So
and then our website is
All Love Kauai.
Yes.
Well,
we're not on TikTok, but
what is it? All Love Kauai.
All Love Kauai with
All
a K.
All Love Kauai. Because I know this has been a very interesting, informative conversation.
Yes. We just skimmed the surface on a lot of things. We're going to have to come back and really delve into a couple
absolutely. But people, they want to continue the conversation, and they can do that by doing their own study, research, and experience. So One of those is getting that book. So make sure y'all go on the website. Y'all support the sister. Get the book. So is there anything that I didn't ask you that I should have asked you that you want to say in your last closing words?
Anything that you didn't ask me? I guess more about the brand as far as All Love.
Okay, well, let's go to it.
And just letting people, All Love is, my vision is it's more than a brand, it's more than a clothing line, it's more than a lifestyle, it's more than a movement, but it's a new way of being. It's really coming back to our heart space, which for me, I feel is our original way of being, but we've gotten so far away from that it's coming back to that. It feels new, where we really are operating from our heart and letting love lead the way in how we think, how we act, how we co-create, how we give, how we receive, a new way of thinking and understanding, where we're collaborating together as we are building this new earth, because the world as we know it is changing, and the change is it has to come from love for us to all coexist and be here on Mama Earth. And so that's what All Love is. It's a new way of being, operating from our heart space, letting love lead the way in all that we do. And remember, stay fly. First love yourself, others will come. And
Stay fly, love yourself, and others will come. We're going to end on that note.
First love yourself.
First love yourself.
And
so I want to thank you for being here. This is Raheem Shabazz, Necessary Blackness Podcast. We see you next time. Same place, same week. Peace.
Peace.